Do you suffer from eye strain? That feeling of pressure between your eyes and in your forehead, dryness of your eyes, blurred vision, eye fatigue, and even a burning or stinging sensation in your eyes throughout the day? And if, in correlation to these symptoms, you spend a good amount of time in front of a digital screen or device, be it a computer, laptop, or phone, then you may well be suffering from DDES, Digital Device Eye Syndrome. In this video, I'll be sharing with you 5 tips and a set of simple exercises that will help with your eye strain and alleviate some of the symptoms caused by DDES. By following these tips, you're going to see a positive result in a relatively speedy manner. Hello and welcome to the Visual Answers YouTube channel. My name is Gazim Bajani. Did you know that the average young person spends around 7.5 hours a day on a digital device? That's on average 114 days in a year spent in front of a screen. More and more people are spending their full 8-hour working days in front of digital devices. And the symptoms of eye strain, dry eye, and blurred vision are common complaints that are mentioned in our consulting rooms by patients as a result. So tip number 1, it's important that you're taking regular breaks from your digital devices. We as optometrists regularly talk about the 20-20-20 rule. So for every 20 minutes you stare at your screen, take 20 seconds out to look 20 meters into the distance. And what I really mean is that for every 20 to 30 minutes of focused work, you want to look up occasionally, relax your eye muscles and face, including your jaw, push your shoulders back and roll your shoulders out. Stretch out your neck and your lower back. And this is to simply counteract the reaching, slouching, or craning over our devices that can lead to pain, discomfort, and postural issues. Every 60 to 90 minutes, you want to get up from your desk, ideally go outside, or if you're unable to do this, then look out of a window and allow your eyes into what we call panoramic vision, where you're not really focusing on anything for a few minutes, and then go back to refocus on your work. You're giving the lens mechanism of your eyes the opportunity to maintain its elasticity. You don't want it to get stuck in this configuration, looking at things so closely. Accommodation, or adjusting focus, is a wonderful feature of our visual system. But you don't want to push that too hard, for too often, or for too long. Tip number 2 is to adjust your screens ergonomically. When using a desktop monitor, you want to keep your device at around an arm's length away, and this is to avoid having to strain your eyes. For an average person, this is around 60 to 70 centimeters. You don't want to be too close to the screen, and as for the height of the device, you don't want your eyes to be at the very top of the monitor, and equally you don't want to be right in the center of the monitor as well. Ideally, for the average person, you want to be about 3/4 of the way up and looking down slightly towards the center of the screen. This is going to be the best way ergonomically to reduce strain on your eyes and also in your neck when you're doing sustained periods of work. We always recommend, if you haven't had an eye examination in a while, it's certainly worth having one, as one of the causes of your eye strain could be an underlying astigmatism. This is where your eye shape of your cornea is not spherical but toroidal in shape, and something that potentially requires correction with spectacles. The average healthy person requires an eye examination every 2 years. So if it's been longer than this, we highly recommend you going to your local optometrist. Tip number 3 is to manage your dry eye symptoms. 1 in 3 adults in the UK suffer from some sort of dry eye, so it's important to keep well hydrated and reduce the amount of caffeine intake, as caffeine can act as a dehydrant for the eyes. Remember to conscientiously blink from time to time when using a digital device, as typically when staring at your screens concentrating, our blink rate reduces by 10 times as we're focused on what we're doing on our devices. If you know you suffer from dry eye, then regularly using preservative-free lubricating eye drops and a warm compress can help alleviate symptoms of dryness, eye fatigue, burning and stinging sensations in the eyes. If you wish to know more about dry eye or ways in which we help alleviate it, we've actually made a video on this, which I will link in the description down below. Tip number 4 improve and strengthen your smooth pursuit tracking. You can train and improve the extraocular muscles in the eyes to be conditioned and strong, which allows you to have a healthy smooth pursuit system. The brain follows the movements of the eyes, and the neural circuits have to cope with changes in smooth pursuit, meaning that if for the majority of your waking day, your smooth pursuit is over a few millimeters on this tiny box of our phone or your computer screen, like any muscle in the body, the mechanism for smooth pursuit can get worse over time and can be the cause of symptoms of eye strain and eye fatigue. The way to counteract this is I always promote people to go out into the real world and experience smooth pursuit tracking of visual objects to help strengthen the extraocular muscles. It's a good reason to watch the flights of birds on the horizon. More typically, it could be to go watch live sport, watching a ball go back and forth in a tennis match, or keeping your eye on a ball during a football game. These are simple yet effective ways to help strengthen your extraocular muscles. If sport isn't your thing and you want a specific exercise to help in this way, I often recommend to certain patients to move their eyes in an infinity sign for a few minutes at a time. But please consult with your optometrist if you think this will be beneficial to you, or if you get any pain or discomfort during these types of eye movements. But for patients I recommend this to is often around 3 times a week for around 5 to 10 minutes to help strengthen those extraocular muscles. And finally, tip number 5 is to train your accommodation. A proportion of adults and children we see in clinic have some form of accommodation insufficiency. This is a binocular vision anomaly characterized by an inability to focus or sustain focus at a near distance. You can find an object at home, and all you need to do is you need to bring the object close to your eyes to a point where you feel some strain on the eyes. Focus on the point and then bring it back out. Allow for the eyes to relax and then bring the object back in to focus and then bring it back out. You really want to do this for around 2 minutes, 3 times a week. This will help strengthen our accommodation. This exercise may in fact cause a slight headache or eye fatigue in the beginning when you do this. But just like going to the gym, you're trying to strengthen your muscles over time. But again, any concerns or issues, please consult with your optometrist before doing these exercises. Overall, if possible, I believe it's very much worth doing. And in particular, if you're a young person, this is a great way as you're building and developing an extra strong and efficient visual system based on the exercises discussed. If you found this video useful, we made a video on how your eyes affect your sleep, which I will leave here. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more useful information on your eyes' health and vision. And we'll see you on the next video.